Hey, good morning. It's 4 a.m. You know what that means?
We're going to St. Lucia!
That's right, and we're going to take you along with us and show you what it's like to fly in the summer of 2025. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go. And in this video, we're going to show you exactly how to get from the airport in St. Lucia to Sandals. So if you're interested in that, keep watching. I got my coffee, and I'm all caffeined up. All right, to get from Myrtle Beach to St. Lucia, we have to fly from Myrtle Beach to Charlotte, and Charlotte to St. Lucia. So we're heading for our first flight now. It's around 5 a.m. We're at Myrtle Beach Airport, and we're wondering if things will be less crowded because we had heard that flights are off by about 10%. So we're going to see if it's less crowded, because in the past couple of years it's been chaos at the airports. So we're curious to see how things are now. Our plane left from Myrtle Beach 30 minutes late, and we were both wondering how painful this travel day was going to be. Okay, so things haven't changed that much. Our plane was completely full out of Myrtle, and then we had to wait 30 minutes on the tarmac to take off, and now we're rushing through Charlotte to get to our next gate, which is on the other side of the airport. And you can see things look as crazy as ever. So I don't see any slowdown in travel, and this is only the beginning of the summer season. So it may be as chaotic and crazy as it's always been. So we're trying to get from A to D for our next gate to go to St. Lucia.
Travel slowdown, I don't see it.
Charlotte was as busy as ever, but at least they were trying to fix the ceilings.
Did you see the new updated ceilings? They just did them. They just updated them.
They look beautiful. And the problem with Charlotte Airport is that there's no easy way to get from one terminal to the other. It took us a good 30-35 minutes to go from A to D, and that's always the case. We've been to bigger airports like Atlanta, where they had a good train system that helped get us around, but not here. Fortunately, we boarded on time. Now, if you want to visit St. Lucia, you need not only your passport, but you also have to fill out an admission form. All right, so one thing to keep in mind that I haven't said yet is you need to fill out an admission form to get into St. Lucia. It's easier to do it on your computer. You can do it within 3 days of your flight. They have to scan part of your passport, and then they'll issue you a QR code that you print out and then show it to immigration if they ask for it. If for some reason you forgot to do it, you can do it in paper version once you get to the airport, but that's going to delay you leaving the airport and delay you going through immigration. So I'll put a link below as far as the website, and definitely do it before you arrive at the airport here to leave.
Like that, our welcome aboard. We'll be leaving for St. Lucia in just a few minutes. Once we get in the air, 4 hours and 5 minutes of flying time today. The altitude's going to be 33,000 feet. Temperature down there last hour, 84 degrees. We're glad to have you with us. We'll be underway shortly.
The flight from Charlotte to St. Lucia took a little over 4 hours, and the flight was completely full, so no sign of any slowdown. We were on an Airbus A321, and the seats were comfortable and there was adequate legroom. American does offer complimentary soft drinks as well as pretzels and biscuits. Plus they had some food and alcohol that you could purchase. And they do have Wi-Fi access for free entertainment. As we approached St. Lucia, the skies turned cloudy. We then learned that June is the beginning of St. Lucia's rainy season.
Sure, the rainy season.
Well, despite the clouds, we were happy to be here, and we were heading to Sandals Resort, which is an all-inclusive resort. Now be aware that the International Airport at St. Lucia is very small, and you leave the plane right onto the tarmac. So if it's raining, you're going to get wet. When you arrive, just follow the crowds to immigration. Make sure you have your passport ready, but also that QR code that was produced when you filled out the admission paperwork online before you left home. You need both to get into the country. After you get through immigration, head over to the Sandals office to get your included transportation. So as soon as you go through immigration and then the declaration line, look to the left. You'll see a yellow sign that says Sandals. It's a red door. Just go through the slider doors and that will bring you to Sandals, to the lounge where you wait for your bus to take you to the resort. Now this one office handles all the transportation to their 3 resorts here, the Grand, Halcyon, and Latak. Inside you'll find complimentary soft drinks and beer, as well as restrooms. All right, so after you get into the Sandals room, grab a drink, go to the bathroom. They just have beer and soda, and then it's a little chaotic. Like they stand around, and then they come in from the doors and they say, Sandals Grand, Sandals Halcyon. And then you grab your bags and go on over and follow the guy. But you can see there's a lot of people here. A little chaotic, but not as bad as Punta Cana. All right, so when they call your resort, walk over to the van they tell you to go to, give them your bag, they'll put it in the back, and just take a seat and get ready for an hour and a half ride.
Welcome to St Lucia.
Thank you. Woo!
It's supposed to be an hour, 20 minutes.
But we'll get there.
Sometimes traffic makes a difference.
And that's exactly what happened in our case. Because of severe traffic, our ride went from an hour and 20 minutes to an hour and 45. Now keep in mind there are other modes of transportation other than the free shuttle. All right, so you have a choice. You can take the helicopter, which costs a little money.
That's what I wanted to do, was take the helicopter over.
You should have.
$25 a person.
Or you could take a ferry to get to the resort from the airport. Or you could do what we're doing, taking the free shuttle. It takes about an hour and a half. It's a little bit windy. Take your Dramamine if you have motion sickness. That'd be my only advice. That's right, the trip in by shuttle was very windy and bumpy. And if you're prone to motion sickness, you may have an issue. But the views along the way made the trip worth it. Now, when you finally arrive, where you check in depends on what level of room that you have. If you have a luxury room, you check in at the main desk. If you have a club room like we did, you'll be taken over to the club lounge, and that's where you check in. Now, if you have a butler room like this one, they whisk you off to a private location to check you in. Now, going home is just the opposite. They come and get your bags and bring them to the lobby. They tell you what time to be in the lobby so you can catch your shuttle back to the airport. And they sing you a goodbye song, just like they did when you first arrived.
And 1, and 2, and 1, 2, 3, let's go.
You then take another windy, twisty shuttle ride back to the airport. We made it back safely to the airport, and this time it only took an hour and 20 minutes. All right, this is a small airport. Everyone goes through the same screening area, but they're pretty strict. 2 people out of our crew of 6, they were stopped and their bags were opened and searched. Sue's actually being searched right now. Now, when you come in, they ask for your boarding pass and your passport twice. They ask for that twice, and then you go through the screening process. You do have to take your shoes off, your belts, and any large electronics, put them in the bin. But it's a pretty cramped area, a little chaotic. Like I said, 2 people of our party of 6 were stopped, flagged, and their bags are being searched. Right, tell the story. So what happened? They had a cavity search?
No, they pulled me off the line, and she was concerned about my ointments and stuff. I said, I'm a nurse. I have bacitracin, Neosporin,
But you said they threw all your jewelry all over the place?
Yeah, they opened up the jewelry container.
And threw your jewelry around?
And it's like, she's like looking at it. I go, it's jewelry, but okay, you want to look at it. But then she threw it on the bin, and it was open, so the stuff is like all...
Thrown all over the place.
Yeah.
Inside your bag.
No, inside the bin.
Oh, outside the bin.
It was wide open, so I'm probably because then she had this zipper. Well,
Did you lose jewelry?
I don't know. I mean, I have...
Because I saw the woman was wearing some nice jewelry up front.
Yeah, probably. Whatever.
Oh, jewelry.
Now, don't worry, all of Sue's jewelry was accounted for. As you can see, it's a small airport, but the good news is up on the second floor there's a food court where you can grab something before your flight. And boarding was just like when we arrived. Head out to the tarmac, go on up the stairs, and just hope that it's not raining. Now, when we landed in Charlotte, I attempted to use the MPC immigration app, but for some reason when I tried to submit the information, I kept getting an error message. Okay, so as you saw, the MPC app did not work, but there might be a reason for that. When we got into immigration, it's all changed. They basically just take a picture of you, say, do you have anything to declare? That's it. And you're in and out of immigration within, I'd say, 30 seconds. I never saw anything like it. So it's been totally revamped here in Charlotte. So it's basically photo, face ID, and that's it. You're right through. And now we're waiting for our next gate, but it really was amazing. So that's what to expect when you go to and from the Sandals Resorts in St. Lucia. Hopefully the information is helpful. Until next time, safe travels.